What's up, YouTube? It's Beginner Skills. I have Adam. What's your name?
Adam Cisneros.
Cisneros. And you got third place at the LA Regionals, right?
Yep, I was playing Lavals Quasar.
Alright. So, you want to explain like how your tournament was, like tournament experience?
It went by pretty well. I played Evil Swarm only twice, which is pretty great. It did play like one of the hardest games I've ever played though, round 5. The guy ran Dyna and Thunder King, and he opened it up. He went Thunder. First he went Thunder King, then he went Ophion, and then he went Dyna. I came back with Metaion. That was a game-winning MVP of the day. Metaion saved me so many times.
How'd you do in Swiss?
In Swiss, I ended up. I was undefeated until the last round. I went 9-1. I lost to Dragons. I just drew really bad last round, but otherwise it was pretty great.
Alright, yeah. So you want to go start this profile?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to monster lineup basis. Just for the Quasar, you need a double Cannoneer and the triple Maiden. I only run 2 cannons, and I run 1 Lakeside. I felt that 2 was very cloggy, and it was really easy to get this out. I didn't mind minusing a cannon with a second Molten to get the grave ready. Not because, well, I had Blaster. I ran 3 Blasters. These were like my other MSTs, so essentially I had about 5 for main deck too, and I could always recycle them. I ran triple Card Car and double Scarecrow, double Fader. I didn't run the one of Boost Warrior. I felt that it was very dead most of the time, and even though it was beneficial into going into Armory Arm, and it was a very easy way to get into Quasar, I felt that I didn't need Quasar to win, and I only used Quasar about maybe half the matches I won. It was mostly Synchro Beatdown, and with my extra deck, it's pretty trolly. I did run some unorthodox cards, and I'll explain those once I get into the extra deck. I only main deck 2 Maxi. I had 3, but I changed it to 2 because I felt with all the other decks, because I did play a lot of rogue decks. I played a lot of I played not Dragoonity. I played Dragoonities, but I had other cards. But I played Archfiend, Dark Worlds, and a lot of Constellars. And so main decking 2 was pretty great. And I did main deck the 1 Metaion mainly for the Evil Storm matchup. It did help me against a Dragon player because he opened up the double Dragosack play. So I just cleared his board, and I had the MST for the Ravine, so he pretty much used all his resources, and he couldn't come back from that.
What did you have?
And that's my monster.
I said this. I could still brought it back.
Oh my god.
The triple duality were mainly for consistency, and that's why I didn't run the Boost Warrior. I felt that it made the deck very cloggy, and it was a monster that I didn't want to have. I'd rather have the Battle Fader or the Swift Scarecrow. So mainly that is to get into the core of the deck, the 3 Rekindling and the 3 Moltens. Ideally, you want to open up Molten, Card Car and Duality. That is just like the best hand you could possibly have. I did main deck 2 MSTs. I was debating about this card for a long time because I did like Blaster, but with everyone running Wind Blast and Reggie Break as well as Vanities, I felt that this was a necessity. I didn't run 3. I felt 2 was great, especially with the 3 Blaster and the 1 Lakeside Lady. It was always great to have the extra MST. And then the 2 1-ofs, the Gold Sark and the 1 Day. Gold Sark was mainly for Rekindling, but I did Rekindling Gold Sark into a Blaster, and it did win me the game because I was playing Evil Swarms. I used Rekindling just to spam the field, and I attributed for my Blaster, and he couldn't do anything with Blaster on the field. So, and this card won me so many games. I sacked someone really badly with 1 Day. I 1-dayed into Card Card D, and into Card Card D I got Rekindling and a Trap Stun, and so it was too good. It was too good for the 1 Day piece. And traps, I didn't run much. I ran the 1 6 cents as anyone, and the double Trap Stun. Essentially, it was Trap Stun Rekindling, and everyone scooped as soon as they saw the Rekindling. Yeah, the Reckless Greed. My deck is really greedy with the 3 card, the 3 Reckless, the 6 cents. It's really you have to draw into everything. Because if you don't, you're done. Especially with the 3 duality, you need to. And like my last round was a testament to that because I didn't draw anything, and I really needed one of these, and it really makes the deck much more consistent.
Alright, so your main deck total was
40.
40, alright.
Yep. I'll go into the side now. I'll go to the extra deck last because it's pretty unorthodox. I sided the second Metaion for Evil Swarms. Main decked one side to the other. This was definitely needed for Evil Swarms. I usually kept the 1 in. I didn't keep the second 1 in. I usually kept the 1 in because sometimes I needed the board wipe for Stardust because everyone likes going first turn Stardust for some reason. And so I kept 1. I didn't put the second 1 in. But overall, yeah, I think I would just keep the 1. I sided the 3rd Maxi and the Dark Hole. Dark Hole was pretty much against every other matchup aside from Dragons and Evil Swarm. I did put it in against Prophecy and every other deck and Constellars. So yeah, these are the 3 1-ups of my side. I ran double Intercept Wave. I was hoping to play Dragoonity Dragons. I only played one, and I did draw it, and it stalled me for a turn, and it won me the game. I played the double Encore for Constellars and Evil Swarm. This actually really helped against Constellars. A lot of people don't like it, but I feel like you need it because they're either gonna go Omega, and you want to get rid of their field, or Pleiades, and so you just want to be able to do what you want, and this helps you do that. The double Iron Wall. Made a call, obviously. For Dragons, you need it in. Double Catastrophe. I sided in against. I only sided this in against Constellars and Evil Swarm. I did against one Prophecy player because I noticed he was playing a lot of traps. So these were in. Over the trap stun, I had trouble. I usually would do 2 in 1. Or I do, depending. If I went first, I'd go Trap Stun because I want to activate this first. And if I went second, then I put in the Catastrophes. But I always kept at least 1 Trap Stun in. I felt the Trap Stun just, against Return and against so many of the other cards that you need, like Vanities, you need a chainable card to negate everything. And I like these a lot over Decree because Decree just gets popped or they just bounce it with Pleiades. And so, and it did clog my field because I do want to use my my Reckless Greeds and everything else. So, Decree was pretty bad. Trap Stun and I did run Regeki Break. This was a last-minute change. I had DNA surgery, but I felt that it wasn't doing anything for me. And the Regeki Break won me so many games, especially against the Evil Storm player who ran the Fossil Dyna. If I didn't have this, I lost. And it almost won me my last round, but the guy had the Scarecrow, so I couldn't really do anything. But it definitely helped. It stalled against a lot of decks. It cleared the board. It got rid of some OTKs, because I would have gotten OTK'd. He went Star Eater, Dracosac with the Stardust and a Blader, and if I didn't have Break to stop one of the attacks, I would have lost. And then after that, I went off. I won with killing. Regeki Break was a good stall card, especially because of it forced someone to Stardust, and it also forced them to get rid of the Vanities that they had on the field, because they tried to stop my Battle Fader, and so they would go Vanities, and hopefully they would kill me. But I Regeki Break the one card, and they have to Stardust. So it definitely saved me. Regeki Break was something I'm definitely going to continue running. And I ran double Threatening Roar. It's mainly a really troll card. I do side it against Dragons because I don't want to get Crimson Bladed. But I know a lot of people like to play really slow, and so it's like, if they're going to play slow, well then I really just depend on my cannons. They're like my little cowboys. I just drop cards and stall with Threatening Roar, because it really helps when it comes into time when people play slow with Dragons and when they play slow with Prophecy. So that's like the main reason I kept them in.
Did you ever came into a situation where Threatening Roar you decided in, like in case you have like 5 minutes into like the third game, second game, did it ever come up?
Yeah, it happened. It happened in my round 8 against Prophecy. Like I said, when they play really slow, I put in these cards just to help me stall out. And yeah, the Prophecy player was pretty salty about it, because it was on first turn he tried to OTK me because he had the nuts. He went Phoenix with World and Priestess. He got all those 3 on board for second turn. He tried to OTK me, and I dropped the Threatening Roar, and I Dark Hole him, and he couldn't come back from it. And I won with just beating him down with small cards. And so that's my side deck. So these are pretty standard. I'm gonna play like the Quasar cards, or here all the level 5s that I run first.
That's pretty good.
So pretty much any combination of these can make you Quasar.
Yeah, this with Formula Synchron, obviously. That's my Quasar. And I did run the Shooting Star, and it helped a lot. A lot of people don't know how to play with Shooting Star. They feel like if they play it, they win. In fact, there was one game against the Dragon player. I played it, I didn't win because of the Ancient Fairy play. He was up at 10,000, and so I hit him for 8, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to save it. So I let it die, and I went into the Shooting Star. And so he didn't really know what to do. Like a lot of people, they feel like they read it and they think they know what it does, but the Dragon player was, I guess, really bad because he Black Rosed me and then he Big Eyed. So I was pretty unorthodox. I'm like, okay, you could have just Big Eyed me, but either way, it's better that they take the Shooting Star over the Quasar, because one, you can't stop this. It's gonna attack twice regardless, and you don't want to waste your stall on something you can't get rid of. So I feel like if you can't OTK with this card, let it die. Because I didn't run Valor and I didn't run Breakthrough Skill, which is something I did run before. But like I said, I felt like the deck needed to play a little bit more greedy, and you just have to play smarter with Quasar. You really have to, it's okay that you don't OTK because you have other outs, and So like for a dual slasher, this is a perfect example. Since it has 200 defense, a lot of people don't run it, but I decide to run to my Laval build because one, it's a rekilling target, and you can always bring it back. And a lot of people like to go into Dragon Sack, so it has piercing. And so I did that once. I pierced, and I had this on field. And then I drop in Volcasaurus for game. And a lot of people don't see this coming. They really don't. They're like, what the hell are you doing? And when you just scoop to Volcasaurus, this card's too good not to run. And especially, it doesn't affect the Quasar play if you go into Dual Slasher. Because you can always bring this back, and it's an extra level 5. And I run 5, so it's like, okay, a lot of the times this gets braked or wing blasted. So this is fine. You can bring this back with Rekindling. And it's a perfect target. Not only that, but this card is absolutely broken with the deck. You can target any Laval card. So a lot of the times I brought this back, and I brought Stenin back. And against Evil Swarms, they cannot get over Stenin. It cannot be targeted, so they can't. It can be targeted, but you just banish to negate. And so if they Bahamut, they try to dress and damage step, you just negate, and they can't get over it. So Cannon is absolutely nuts with this deck. And so, yep, and then you can't say anything else about Dragon. Dragon is the broken card of the deck with it's basically Bionic. And with Molten, you just return everything and then you can bounce everything back again. True. And I ran 2 because a lot of the times people would book it or Baylor it. I only ran played one Dragon player that ran Baylor, and it did stop 1. And it's good that I had 2 because I just bounced everything and went into Quasar and he scooped. So those are the Quasar essentials. What are the cards? The Shooting Star for Quasar. Grind the Black Rose for, easy to go against, or easy to make with Stenin, and with Cannon, as well as just with Rekindling. I was debating about running a Draco Sack or a Big Eye, because I did do that in the other build when I had a Burner and Blaster. But I felt like this card was just needed to, you need to save it when you need to blow up the field. I did use it against Dragons. I Metaioned him, and then main phase 2 at Rekindling. I felt like it was a necessity. Sometimes you do have to burn a Rekindling. You're not going to win with Rekindling all the time. You have to burn it to get rid of your opponent's field. And so I Metaioned his field, and then I Black Rosed him after, and he had nothing. He was just resorting to top decks, and I won that top decking battle.
Oh, what a sack.
The Blader, for common reasons, just Dragon scoop to this. They can't really do anything. Not only that, there's an OTK. You don't need Quasar to OTK. You can make this and this and this, and you end up. And this is with just 1 Rekindling and a Cannon. You don't need Quasar because like I said, I don't run the Boost Warrior, so I don't run the easy out to Quasar. So I do OTK. A lot of the times, like tokens gets over something, and then this just bounces everything and you attack the game. And then the last 3 cards, I run the Armory Arm, I run Lavals Chain, and Mace Stroke. I run Mace Stroke just to get over Evil Swarms. Really, the only way to make it is with Cannon. And like I said, sometimes you do have to burn a Rekindling, so you're gonna have to, make something. And with the Armory Arm, this is just in case you have to burn. If you have to burn a Rekindling and you have level 1 on board with Battle Fader or the Scarecrow. So you can, you book one Ophion, you get over the other one, and you just script this onto it, and it's pretty solid unless you have Fiendish Chain. But still, it's hard for them to get over this. And with Lavals Chain, it's an extra Molten. It's just to make the deck much more consistent. Or a lot of times, if you have the Grave set, I do send Blaster, because you do want as much as you can. You do want the Blader play, because it's really easy to make with Rekindling. And if you so not only that, this dies a lot to Fiendish Chain, and so this is my other out, and then this is how I'll get over Ophion as well. That's pretty much my deck.
Alright, so any last words you want to say, Adam?
I guess I want to thank all my friends. I want to thank my friend Jonathan Rosario, my friend Johnny. They helped me with my build a lot. I also want to make a shout out to Legacy Cards and Comics in Glendale and to MTG Deals. Those are the locals I play at. And that's pretty much it.
This was your first top, right?
Yeah, this is my first top.
Sweet.
It's like my 3rd regional as well, so it's pretty good.
Alright then. So, good job, man. Late.